people here would like to see is a better relationship between the landlords, SUNY Oswego, and the city. Because a lot of people have animosity that say live in the neighborhoods and they live next to an apartment building with students in it, and they don't really take care of the neighborhood, and they don't really have a lot of it's not necessarily respect or whatever. It's just they're being college students, and and the people who live here are like, well, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up to live next to college students. So, I think that there needs to be some better communication, and maybe as some of these off-campus student housing projects get brought online, it will help to maybe shift some of the students that are living off campus towards those kind of settings, and then maybe some of the houses can go back to single family, or at least there's not as much pressure on anytime a house comes on the market, someone wants to buy it out to turn it into an apartment. I mean, that's and that's one of the things that a lot of people worry about anytime a house goes, oh no, I'm worried about the neighborhood kind of thing. And, but one of the major things from my point of view that I think would help, I didn't graduate college that long ago, so I still remember how it was, but and I was at University of Buffalo, and it's completely different. There's two campuses there. There's one that's closer to the city, and then there's one that's out in Amherst, like in its own little village, kind of like SUNY Oswego, where it's kind of its own village. Doesn't really. I think that to have a better college town, you need to have more participation between the students and the actual city. That's what makes college town. I'd like to see some downtown living opportunities for students, so that way they're actually in downtown. They come home there, they're doing their shopping, they're going there. Because right now, I mean, really, they're either living on campus or they're living probably somewhere on the west side in the houses there. But there's no real downtown living opportunities. And then, with that, you'd probably have to have a better transportation system for the students to get back and forth. But I think that those are two things that would help, because a lot of the things that the students want, and I don't know exactly, I'm kind of maybe guessing here, but a lot of things that the students want are retail that would be based around what they want, that kind of stuff. We want that, we want activities, things for us to do. Well, a lot of that's market-based. If there's not, if the developers, I mean, you can't twist someone's arm and make them say, we want this, so okay. They need to see that there's a market for it, and they need to see that there's a way for students to get there. And then they will do it. To build it, and it's kind of the opposite. Instead of build it and they will come, it's they will come and we will build it. That's the kind of that's what they do. So I think if you had more students in town and interacting, and the school did build their bookstore downtown right in the corner, West First and Bridge. Well, they didn't build it; they took over an old building. But I think that's a good start. But I think to bring some living opportunities that are either college owned or someone who's working with the college to make sure the students are acting responsibly would be, I think, something that would work out well. And some kind of either public transportation system that would better get students to and from. That way they could also pick up students who maybe live out there and just want to come in here to, I know they do that some. Other things I think would help Oswego to tie the college in better would be better to make it more pedestrian friendly in terms of not just walking but biking, so students could travel into town without needing a car, without feeling they need to cross like 4 lanes of traffic and everything else. And then maybe connecting the city's parks a little better, maybe giving students that are coming in maps of I don't know if they do this now. I didn't go to Oswego, so I don't know if they did this, but maybe giving them maps of the city's parks and how they can get to them and things like that, so they can feel like they're part of the community and not, out in Fort Oswego.